You know that feeling when you use an app and it just clicks? Everything feels right. And then there are others that, sure, they work, but you just can't stand using them. What's the difference? It's not just function, it's all about the feeling. And that feeling is born from visual design. I mean, let's be real. We've all used websites or apps that technically do the job. The buttons work, you can complete the task. But did you enjoy it, or was it kind of a drag? The truth is, in today's world, just working is rarely enough to win people over. Here's probably the best way to think about it. A wireframe, the basic blueprint of an app, that's just the skeleton. It gives you the structure, but there's no life to it. Visual design, well, that's what gives the skeleton a soul. It's the personality, the vibe, the thing that makes you actually connect with it. So that's what we're going to dive into. How do we go from that boring, lifeless blueprint to an interface that feels alive and engaging? And this isn't just about splashing some color on it and calling it a day. This is about making things feel intuitive, trustworthy, and, human. And this isn't just a matter of opinion. It's actually a proven psychological principle called the aesthetic usability effect. It's this fascinating quirk of our brains where when something looks better, we automatically assume it works better too. A really beautiful design can even make us more forgiving if you run into a minor glitch. Now, you can imagine this has some pretty massive implications for any business. Aesthetics aren't just window dressing. They are a seriously powerful tool for building a successful product. So let's break down exactly why that is. First off, you have literally seconds, milliseconds really, to make a good first impression. A sharp professional design builds trust right out of the gate. The colors, the fonts, that's your brand's voice. Is it serious and corporate, or is it fun and creative? All of this works together to forge an emotional connection that makes people feel good about what they're using. Okay, so how do we actually build this? Well, it really comes down to four fundamental pillars. And our first one is color. This is maybe the most powerful tool in the shed for setting a mood without having to say a single word. Colors speak this subconscious language that we all just get. I mean, think about it. Why do so many banks and big tech companies use blue? Because it feels stable and trustworthy. Why do sales signs scream at you in red? It creates urgency. And that little green check mark when you succeed? Yeah, that taps right into our brain's association with go and growth. But you can't just throw a bunch of colors at a screen and hope for the best. A fantastic guideline to keep things balanced is the 60-30-10 rule. It's a classic rule from interior design, but man, it works perfectly for digital interfaces too. Here's the breakdown. 60% of your design should be your primary color. Think of it as your dominant, often neutral background. 30% is your secondary color, which adds a bit of personality, maybe for headings or side panels. And that last, crucial 10%, that's your accent color. It's a pop of contrast you save for the really important stuff, like buttons and links, to tell the user's eye exactly where to look. All right, let's move on to pillar number 2, typography. And I gotta say, this is so much more than just picking a font you think looks cool. It's the art of making words easy and even pleasant to read on a screen. You've basically got two big families here, serif and sans serif. Serif fonts are the ones with the little feet on the letters. They feel classic, traditional, great for a novel. But on a screen, sans serif fonts are king. They're clean, they're modern, and they're just easier for our eyes to scan quickly in a digital format. That's why they're everywhere. But even within one font, the real power comes from creating a clear hierarchy. I mean, look at this. A big, bold headline. It grabs you immediately. It's practically shouting, hey, I'm the most important thing on this page. Start here. Size and weight are your best friends for telling a visual story with your text. And hey, here's a pro tip for you. If you want to keep your designs looking clean and professional, just keep it simple. Seriously. A good rule of thumb is to stick to 2 font families, max. Maybe one for your headlines, another for your body text. The moment you start adding a third or fourth, things can get messy and look really amateurish fast. Pillar number 3 is all about layout. This is the art of arranging everything on the screen. A good layout gives you a sense of order and makes the whole thing feel effortless to get around. So let's look at this. Oof, everything is just jammed together. There's no room to breathe. The effect is immediate, right? It feels stressful, confusing. Your brain doesn't know where to look first, and you just feel overwhelmed. Now, check this out. We have the exact same stuff on the screen, but we've added a generous amount of white space, or negative space.
The difference is night and day. It suddenly feels calm, clear, and sophisticated. Whitespace isn't empty space. It's a powerful tool for reducing complexity.
And two other quick layout tricks are alignment and proximity. Lining things up along an invisible grid creates an instant sense of order. And just grouping related things together, like a picture and its caption, tells our brain, hey, these two things are related. It's so simple, but it makes a massive difference. Okay, this brings us to our final pillar, and this is the one that really ties everything else together: visual hierarchy. This is the art of arranging things to show what's most important and to guide the user's eye on a specific path. This is where all our tools come into play. You make the most important button bigger than the others. Use that bright 10% accent color to make it pop. You put the key call to action right at the top or in the center where the eye naturally falls, and you surround it with white space to make sure it gets noticed. You are literally telling the user, look here first, then over here. So you see, these pillars, color, typography, layout, and hierarchy, they don't work in isolation. They have to work in concert to create one single, cohesive, intuitive experience. They're all part of the same team that turns that lifeless skeleton into a product with a soul. And really, that's the #1 takeaway here. Great visual design isn't just decoration. It's about communication. Its entire purpose is to create clarity, to build trust, and to make our interactions with technology feel simple and human. So I'll just leave you with this final thought. The next time you're using your favorite app, or even one you can't stand, just take a second to notice. Notice how the design is guiding your eye, pushing you to take certain actions. And ask yourself, how is all this quiet guidance shaping the way I see and interact with my digital world?